Hey guys, Gus here. Welcome back to the Dollar Challenge, where I, a complete beginner, do my best to build my first app using only AI coding tools and hopefully make my first dollar on the internet. In the last video, I launched my app and I was reading through the comments and I was just blown away. Thank you so much for your kind words, honestly, for your encouragement, and for not making me feel stupid. It felt really awesome. But now I know the work begins. Just because I built it doesn't mean that anybody's gonna care or that anybody's gonna come and want to use this app. And so in this video, I'm gonna do my best to get my first 100 users. Not sure if that's gonna happen. You're gonna have to wait till the end to see if I complete that goal. A lot of people talk about how Reddit is a great strategy for getting users and getting, targeting your ideal customer and getting them to use your stuff. So that's gonna be my goal for today. So thanks for being here. Appreciate the support. Leave a comment below about what you think about my marketing strategy, whether it's good, whether it's bad, what you would do differently. I'm honestly really open to how I should be doing things. Anyway, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Let's get to it. Let's do this. So let's talk about where I am right now. So I currently have about 54 test users or beta users, whatever you want to call them. And let me share my screen so you can kind of see what I'm talking about or prove that I'm not lying to you. So here I am inside my App Store Connect. I have about 54 users. A few haven't accepted the invite. One of them is me. So I guess I technically have 51 users. And what's cool is you can kind of see how many sessions they've done, if they've given any feedback, what type of phone they're on, things like that. And then of course myself here in the end, I've used this the most, which is the ultimate goal of something like this. I've gotten most of these users through the YouTube video. So obviously I posted a video about a week ago, or a little over a week ago now, sharing that I was launching my product, and I linked the test link there. So I'm guessing many of those were from that video. And then I've gotten a lot from X. So if I go over and show you my X account, I've been sharing pretty much as often as I can, as often as I can remember, my specific app. So actually the day we posted the video, I ended up posting this that night, and that was the most views I've ever gotten on a post. And I think it was just authentic, right? I was like, hey, I built something, it works. It was just me, picture of my walk, and then a picture of my app. And it got a lot of love. And then I posted another one of me and my wife that we went on a walk that evening. So that was fun. And then I've been trying to just post a lot more on X. I think I've learned, probably the hard way, that, and what I mean the hard way is, like, in the past, I would just sort of post, I don't know, stuff I was thinking about or whatever, and I'm sure there's room for that. But if you're building something, it seems like X loves to see that process happening. And so, yeah, I've just been posting like people using my app, like, hey, here, I'm on another walk. That one didn't get a lot of love. Another one on a walk, then, that one did okay. People were posting it, sharing the video that we did last week. So yeah, as you can see, I'm doing like a video here, another one of my walk, another one as of this recording. I'm getting ready to actually fully publish the app. That'll be at another video down the line. And then I've been DMing a lot of people, but I've sent the link to specific people. They've downloaded it. This guy is like, hey, I'm using the app now, which is pretty cool to see out in the wild. Lazar, you can check out his video on the main Starter Story channel. People that are just like, hey, let me be a user. My original plan was to create a U form that people would sign up for. And actually, I've gotten more responses that I honestly haven't even looked at. I was sending those out to people. I've got a few people who've kind of responded to me here. The point is that I've just been trying to DM a bunch of people, trying to post more to try and get users. And it's, obviously it's kind of working. I've got about 54 users now. But now my goal is to get that even higher. So the route I'm going to take is to try and use Reddit. Reddit seems to be, at least in the Twitter sphere, indie hacker sphere, I'm not an indie hacker, but in that world, Reddit seems to be a popular place to try and get users. And so that's what I'm going to try and do today. And so what I've done is I was watching this YouTube video. I found this video he did that was basically like how I would reach 10,000 app users. And he goes through this whole process of, like, first you start here and then you do, TikTok marketing, and then you do like paid marketing. Honestly, I'm not at a place where I'm ready to do TikTok or paid. I bet my growth could be faster if I did, but I don't really want to do that. I'm going to take the hard way. But he actually has this download, and this is not, this is not a sponsored post by any means, but he had a list of subreddits here that he was like, hey, like pitch your product, provide value. And so what I did is I turned some of these into my own little spreadsheet here. And my goal is I have about 14 different subreddits here that I'm going to try and post in. They all have different sort of things that I think I can kind of make unique, and I'll talk about those in a second. I'm going to track, the type of post that I create, how many views it gets, the general sentiment, is it neutral, nobody cares? Is it bad? Do I get banned? Is it great? Like, do people love it? And then the results. The results will be a little harder to track only because, I'm not assigning like a UTM link or anything like that. I probably could get fancy with it, but I don't. But I'll just track by the number of installs that people have from the test flight app. So as of this recording, as of right now, I have 54 total users. I'm going to do this kind of Reddit marketing, and let's see over the next couple days or how much more it grows. My goal is to get to 100. I'm not sure if I'm going to get there, but that's kind of what we're going to see. So why I chose these subreddits, I'm not going to walk through all of these. Obviously, that would be honestly probably boring for you to watch and boring for me to talk through. But each of these have like an opportunity, I think, for me to like honestly and openly share about my building process. So I'm going to really lean on the fact that I'm a beginner. I'm going to lean on the fact that I, built this just with Cursor and Claude, and that it's my first mobile app. If in some of these I end up deciding that, okay, maybe I'm going to do something more direct marketing or something like that, I'll do that. But we'll see. So I want to just highlight a few of them that I for sure want to post in. The first one is called R Walking. And so this obviously makes sense for me to post in this channel because this is all about walking, and people are always posting, screenshots of their thing, like where they walked today. I could easily see myself doing like, hey, here's where I walked today, and then just kind of low key inserting an image of my app. So that's probably something I'll do. So that's going to be the first place. I'll probably end up doing and like roast my startup. That's an easy one. I'll just probably post something about like, hey, I'm a beginner. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Here's the idea. Like, you think this is good? Let's see what they say. There's obviously some promotions. And then I'm interested in this one, Entrepreneurs Ride Along. This one is like more story based. I think I might tell a little bit more of my story here. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to try and knock this out here in the next, 30 minutes to an hour. Post 15 times. I'm not going to make you watch all of my posts because that would be a little boring. But I'm going to, you're going to watch me write some of this stuff, and then I'm going to try and share my results or some more thoughts at the end. All right, let's do it. Okay, let's speed things up a little bit here. I don't want to bore you by you having to watch me plan. So what you're watching me do here is just pull up a Google Doc and plan out the different things I want to post on Reddit itself. You're also watching me sort of filter through different subreddits. I used a different tool here called Reddit Ads, which does a lot of things, but one of the things it does is it helps you find other subreddits that you could potentially post in. So this is giving me a few ideas on what I may or may not want to post and different subreddits that I could find. All right, let's get back to it. I'm gonna do my first walking post. So walking, let's do like, I think I'm gonna do something controversial. 10K doesn't feel like enough for me. So create post. 10K steps per day isn't enough for me. Hi. Okay, and what you're watching me do here is actually post something on Reddit. I'm sure that there is a more automated way to do this. If you know of that, please leave that tool in the comments. But right now I'm going one by one, opening each subreddit, trying to figure out the headline, trying to figure out a good hook, trying to figure out the body. But yeah, that's what I'm doing here. And now let's get back to the video. Hey, all right, welcome to the first walk break, sponsored by my future app. So for the last couple days, I've been kind of looking at Reddit, trying to publish stuff on there, share ideas. I think the hardest part has been trying to figure out like what's the unique angle or thing that I want to talk about. How can I find something or a specific angle that doesn't feel like I'm just shilling my product, And I think that's the hardest part about posting stuff on Reddit is trying not to get banned. So far I haven't. But yeah, trying to find the unique angle on the idea or on the post and make it valuable while also, subtly plugging the project that I'm doing. That's my quick walk break. All right, let's get back to it. All right, so it's been a few days since I posted all these different posts. I'm excited to show you the results. I think it'll be a little, I was a little disappointed. But first, let me walk through some of the different posts I did and some of the comments I made as well. So yeah, first let's start there. So let me share my screen. Okay, so this first post, this one actually got banned. I did it on Roast My Startup. I don't know exactly why it got banned. Sometimes there'll be a moderator link or it'll share why. But my guess is that it got banned because I'm newer to the subreddit. And then it was just straight up like saying, hey, this is my app and here's a specific link to download it. So that'd be my guess on why that one didn't work. So second one, this one didn't get that many views, only 450 views in Indie Biz. Probably not the right subreddit, but this one was more of a personal story. I shared a little bit about that I built this thing. Like I try to embed the link a little earlier, and then I just try to share some lessons. Not a lot of engagement, pretty much. So that one kind of flopped at 2. This one I shared in Side Project. 1,000 views, so a little bit more, a couple upvotes. And it was a very similar post to the last one where I just said, hey, I built this for the first time. I shared a little bit more about my story and I linked my app down here. Again, not crazy views, but something. This one was a little bit more targeted. So this is the Facebook group called Our Walking. Everyone in here posts just about like their walking experiences everywhere, which is kind of funny. But I try to do like, okay, how can I share something relevant to the subreddit and then also just slightly plug my app? So I shared a little bit about my story and this one got decent engagement, 10 upvotes. And most importantly, so what I did was I kind of shared a picture because that's what they do in the subreddit. And then I also shared a picture of my app. And I actually had somebody say, lovely view, what's the app in the second picture? And then he said, okay, if you want, you can test it here. And he says, sadly, I'm on Android. Okay, that's fine. But this is, interesting, right? Like I can do this probably over and over again. I don't know if I will all the time because maybe they'll ban me. But as long as it's valuable, I think I can post this and it won't get banned. So I'm going to try more of this. Okay, next one. I did a lot more than these, but these are the ones that I feel like are best to show you so you can kind of see what it looks like. This one was a few days before all this, but I shared just a long story of like that I built this thing, blah, blah, blah. I was able to input a little bit of an older version of what the app looked like in there. 7,000 views, 18 comments. So yeah, this one got kind of a lot more views than I'm used to, I guess you could say. Some conversation, I was able to chime in. I wouldn't say it was very like converting by any means, but there's something here, especially for like the R vibe coding community. I'm sure I can do a lot more in there. And then the last one, this one is kind of interesting, kind of very different. I didn't actually plug my app in here. I wanted to test what it would be like to start I don't know, controversial is the wrong word, but more of a real conversation. So I shared a little bit about why for me 10K steps doesn't feel like enough and it more related to losing weight, etc. But this one got 19,000 views, 46 comments. And like I said, I didn't plug in my app by any means, at least I don't think I did. But I think there's something here, right? Where people are interested in more of a conversation on Reddit. To be honest, I'm fairly new to how Reddit really works besides what I've read and seen online, but there's something there. Start a conversation, not be controversial just to be controversial, but to spark something. And I'm sure there's an opportunity in here if I read through all the comments, which there was a lot, where I could plug in and say, yeah, I've been trying to track my steps on this thing. I know it's not enough or whatever, whatever the case may be. So let's see what the results were like. So I didn't post as much as I wanted to. A couple days ago, I had 54 installs and today I have 62. So was it, explosive by any means? No, but it was, it's something, right? This was just an hour of posting. If I did this, I'm sure for a couple days, or a couple weeks even, and got better and better at this, I'm sure I could double or triple this number. So I didn't reach my goal of 100 test users from just a few Reddit posts, but I did grow a little bit. And I think that is something. My first takeaway is that building is, even though, like I probably mentioned at some other point, even though building wasn't easy for me because I'm a beginner at this, that is 10 times easier than trying to figure out how do I share my message in the world, or how do I share about my app in the world. Two is that Reddit is just one marketing channel. There's millions, I'm sure, that I could use. It's a big piece of the internet, and I think I've heard of so many people that use Reddit to plug their products that it makes me want to do it too. But my point in saying that is there's probably so many other channels that I probably need to test soon if I really do want to keep growing this thing. I think my last takeaway is just that this is going to take some time. I've obviously read and seen a bunch of stories of people who built something, and 2 weeks later it was at X, MRR or whatever the case may be. That's not going to be my story. I still haven't made a buck. If I want this to be something, it's going to take a long time. So this is like step 1 of 100 of trying to get hundreds, thousands of users to this thing. So anyway, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Hope you learned something, and we'll see you in the next one. We noticed an issue with your submission. What the heck? Another issue with your submission. Oh my gosh, come on. And of course, I got rejected again. Okay, wait. Is this the one?